The Yellow Wallpaper, a short story by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, addresses something much more than a simple narrative and provides a psychological and feminist critique of the 19th century gender norms. This analysis will examine how the narrator's imprisonment under the rescuer symbolizes a personal trauma and publicly a collective act of rebellion against the oppression of women. We will analyze the story through feminist, psychological, and sociological lens, and reflect on how oppression turns into empowerment. In the feminist reading of this story, the author critiques of patriarchal control as a sort of medical treatment demonstrates that ideology. The Academic Journal of Women's Studies in 2003 states that John, the narrator's husband, is completely suited to represent the intellect and independence of women. Of narration, which represents writing that the female narrator has been forbidden from doing, is indicative of how women and their intellect have been subjugated. Manifestation of her authentic inner self, internal desires for freedom, and internal self-fighting against the confines of societal standards. Gilman subverts the depiction of mental illness from norm and weakness into those of rebellion and self-discovery. Social History Journal 2019 explains how domestic labor forced women to a position of submission and dependence. Thus, Gilman reveals the damage of this order. The narrative therefore operates on a dual level, as both documented experience and cultural insurgency. Gilman builds a complex argument that women's mental illness, in many cases, arises as a result of social confinement through an examination of feminism, psychology, and sociology in the context of her confinement.